without any doubt, the greatest bodybuilding show on earth.
You don't want to miss this.
Best show in the world.
Well, I'm very excited.
Best Arnold weekend ever.
To your winner, Derek Lunsford.
Let's go.
Hey guys, Ivan here, and in today's video we got the classic physique prejudging, and to be honest, we don't have a lot of footage because, as you guys probably know, the live stream ended right before the comparisons. Terrible, I know, I'm sponsored by the Arnold Classic, but what can I say? Hopefully they will explain at least, and the same mistake won't happen for the finals. We got some photos in the videos I managed to assemble for this video, so we'll do a little analysis. Still, let's start with the first initial comparisons and quarter turns in which we saw Sam Sulek compared to Wesley Vissers. So thankfully they left all the top guys, the most notable guys, for the end, for the last call out here, so we can see most of them compared, and it's actually Wesley Vissers, Matthews Menegate who are fighting for that win in the top 2. Andrea Mamoli is also in that top 4, top 5. Sam Sulek is not in the mix, but of course a lot of people were excited to see Sam Sulek on this stage. So let's take a look at these guys one more time. Sam Sulek, I gotta say, he brought the condition and muscularity and peak. He peaked really well, but he made some terrible beginner mistakes with posing. And I don't want to say he needs a posing coach, because yeah, sure he does, but even if he had a coach, anybody would tell him to fix these mistakes posing-wise. So yeah, he posed like he's competing for the first time in his life. It was a disaster, and he failed to really show what he had. And he had a solid physique. Small legs, yes, very small legs, but he had a lot more muscle than last time, than last year, and better conditioning as well. However, again, he failed to show it, really. Now here, next to Wesley Vissers, he actually looks surprisingly big, and Wesley, who is known for having weaker legs, looks here like he's leg dominant. So yeah, Sam needs to work on training those legs harder. Look at him next to the Asian guy. His legs look so tiny. So yes, Sam Sulek was in good condition, good peak, but there are some flaws that he needs to work on improving over the next couple of years. So of course, he's not perfect, we all knew that, but is this a good package that he brought? It's kind of like what I expected, you know? Better size, better thickness overall, more muscle, good conditioning, overall a solid look, but terrible posing. I thought his posing was going to be at least a little bit better. Menegate actually is the one who surprised and who is fighting to win. I don't see him winning, but we'll take a closer look at that later. He's definitely in the top 2. Right here you can see Sam, who again brought good conditioning. Wesley Vissers, did he bring it? I don't know. We'll take a closer look at Wesley as well. I mean, he's on. I don't want to say he's off, but is this him at his absolute best? No, I don't think so. Menegate is looking really good. I thought this guy is going to be in the top 5 or so, but to be this good in top 2, I did not see this, I'll be honest. Now, let's take a look at the posing routines of these guys. For example, Kim Angel. This is going to be a brief one. I don't want to stay too long on Kim Angel, but honestly, I was so impressed with his conditioning and hardness. I thought he was going to be in the top 2, but no, he's placing lower than that. I guess his structure is not as classic. His waist is a little bit wider, but the size this guy is packing, the conditioning, the hardness, I think he could go and compete really successfully in the open too, because he's shredded to the bone, man. If he came in a bit fuller with worse conditioning, and if he worked on adding some size over the years, he would get freaking massive, and he would look really good as an open bodybuilder for sure. Now, Matthews Menegate delivered for sure. He came in sharp, shredded, in details. I would say a little bit flat on the flatter side, especially the upper body, but the legs look pretty freaky. Look at those sweeps, man. Insane. Now, as far as his upper body, I don't know if he's just flat or small. I am not too familiar with his physique, but this does look a little bit slim. in the upper body. He needs to add more size to the upper body to be really competitive against the very best in the world. But yeah, he's sharp, he's streamlined, he's a nice, small, tiny waist, good shape, good balance, good classic lines. Tattoos are not helping too much, but again, the guy came in conditioned and had great legs, upper body, a little bit slim, but overall, he brought a pretty good look, and I think he's probably placing second here. I don't see him winning, but who knows? I mean, I'm not sure what the judges are looking for, really. I think Wesley did enough to win, but it's not impossible. This guy can win as well. Andrea Mamoli, he delivered, man. I don't have any HD footage of him posing. I have some from the live stream, but it's not that good. We get this photo here that is really high quality, and you can see how conditioned he is, what his shape looks like, and this is very good, but he has two major flaws. One is his height, and the other one is his back, and it looks better here than it did on the live stream, but it's definitely not a good back, not at all. It's small and it's flat and it's not symmetrical. So because of this, I think this is the only thing he's not placing inside of the top two, but he could very well take that third. Now, once again, Sam Sulek, did he deliver? Peak-wise, sure. Improvement-wise, yeah, he's bigger, he's more matured, he's better, but what he needs to work on is bringing up the legs. You cannot bring up the legs and have great legs by doing only freaking leg extensions. And you need a coach, not a posing coach, just a coach to be in the audience, to look at you and to yell, flex the glutes. Man, flex the glutes. What the hell is he doing? He forgot to flex the glutes completely here. And it's not that he doesn't have any glute separation. I did say it's one thing to have separation in the side poses. It's a completely different thing to have separations from the back. And Sam actually had, I think, some decent separation from the back too, but he didn't flex the glutes, for example. And what is even worse than that, it's the quarter turns that he did next to Wesley Vissers, for example. He looked like a total beginner, like he didn't know what the hell he's doing on this stage. I mean, just take a look at this. What is he? Did he even practice the quarter turns? Any coach would tell him how to practice them and how to do them. This is like you took a person off the street and told them, do this, imitate this bodybuilder and stand like you're standing in a quarter turn. I mean, this is it, basically. This is not how you hit the pose, the quarter turn. He probably forgot to even practice it. He didn't know that it's going to be an official pose at this show. Maybe, I'm assuming, because that's how bad he is at doing it. But as far as the condition overall, the peak, it's good, man. It's good. He improved. He got more conditioned for sure. If we're talking about his potential as a future pro, there isn't a lot of potential. You know, he doesn't have the shape, he doesn't have the structure, and even though he basically is at the weight cap, he doesn't look big enough. Arnold Classic is invitational, so maybe we'll see him again here next year. Now, Wesley Vissers, did he nail the look? Well, the first thing that pops to my eyes is the color. He missed the color. He didn't bring the best tan. He is too yellow, too pale. So, yeah, the color is wrong, that's for sure. Did he bring better size in the legs? Absolutely. That's one thing he surely improved on. The legs definitely do look a lot bigger and better. He definitely added a lot of thickness to them. I don't think he has weaker legs anymore. You know, I don't think he's upper body dominant at this point, right here. You know, I think he's pretty balanced out. Now, I do prefer to see leg-dominant bodybuilders in classic physique especially, but no, he's not exactly... He's in balance now, in solid balance. Now, as far as his conditioning, we can see it very clearly from behind. This is not Wesley's best conditioning. No. I don't think it's a body fat issue, because I think if they wanted him to be completely shredded, they probably could have went that far. I think this could be a peaking mistake. I think he's just holding some water in his lower back and glutes and hamstrings. I think if he did a peak week better, if he dehydrated more, which is something I would definitely do with Wesley, but they probably went with a safer option, not risking the look and going with just, his usual look, maybe slight manipulation. It just wasn't enough. He was still too watery. He was in really good shape at an early point in this prep, so if Stefan wanted him to be more shredded, they would push for conditioning, but I don't think that was the case, and I don't think they played the game of, keeping the fullness in the legs, not being willing to go to that level to get conditioned. I think they were going with the best condition possible, because that's necessary in classic physique. Imagine if Mike was here. Honestly, I'm pretty sure it will be lights out. We'll talk about Mike in a second, but yeah, I think Mike would destroy this lineup, honestly. I mean, this is not Wesley at his best, especially from the back. I don't know. I mean, I already talked about his lats and that something is wrong with them, and I can see it here also, kinda, like the lats are not perfectly symmetrical. The right lat is much bigger than the left one, so it's probably some... I don't know if it's atrophy or nerve damage or whatever to the left side, but the left lat is not as big as the right one, and also he's definitely holding water in the lower back, in the glutes and the hamstrings. So this is not Wesley at his absolute best, but it's a good Wesley. It's good enough to win this show without Mike Sommerfeld in. And he improved the legs from the front especially. That's a big thing. That's a big improvement. Maybe he'll nail the conditioning for the next show, for the Arnold UK. We'll see about that. But if Mike shows up at that show, then I don't see him beating... I don't see Wesley beating Mike. Anyways, again, Wesley next to Sam Sulek, it was just a disaster. He completely ruined him, especially in the quarter turns. But Sam held his own in most of the other poses. He actually had some decent amount of size. If he only knew how to pose, it would be so much better. Now, we also got some photos from the prejudging, from the comparison round. And as you can see in the top four, we did have Kim Angel and Andrea Mamoli, but Matthews Menegate and Wesley Vissers are fighting for the win. I would say Matthews or Menegate brought better conditioning and just drier look, more detailed. But I would say Wesley has probably more dominant, more classic physique. As you can see, Matthews is a little bit flat in the upper body and Wesley is super full everywhere. It depends on what the judges go with. It's very possible that Menegate is still going to win. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm too biased because I know Wesley, because I'm a fan of Wesley, because he's the defending champ. But the judges are probably being very objective and they might just pick Matthews because he does look crazy here. Mamoli, again, great peak, great shape, no back and no size. Kim Angel managed to crack the top four, which is very expected because he is freaking huge and shredded. Not the most classic physique, but very, very complete. He might actually even climb up to the top two, potentially. I could see him beating Wesley if they go for conditioning at this show and not so much the shape. But yeah, Wesley has this aura about him, that Arnold Schwarzenegger look, crazy arms, crazy taper, stuff like that. He has a really, really impressive physique, and I think for that reason he might win this, but we'll see. Let's take a look at the poses right here of Wesley versus Menegate comparison. So, yeah, in the abs and thighs, Menegate wins because he definitely has smaller waist, better quads, more detailed, and I mean, that's enough. That's just it. He wins the abs and thighs. Back double bicep. Honestly, Matthews in the back double bicep reminds me a lot of C-Bomb, right? With the legs dominant from the back, the glutes massive, and the smaller, flatter upper body. So, yeah, looks a lot like Chris Bumstead, and Wesley's just bigger, has a bigger back, fuller arms and shoulders, but not as big of the legs from behind and not the best conditioning. So, yeah, personally, I think Matthews is winning this pose as well. Let's look at the front double. I think this one to Wesley because of the fullness, again, in the upper body, especially in the arms. He's killing Menegate in the arms. And again, that could be the reason why he actually wins this show, because he has such dominant upper body, crazy looking arms, good width taper as well. And now he has pretty solid fullness in the legs. Matthews, even though he wins some poses, Front double bicep is a very, very important pose in Classic, and if he's not winning in this one, and he's losing by this much, and he is losing by quite a lot, then I don't know if he can win, honestly. The most classic pose, this one is close. It's going to be difficult for Megate to beat Wesley Vissers here, but you guys tell me down below, what do you think? I think it's a very close battle. I think anything is possible. If the judges go with conditioning and not with the classic shape and fullness and size, it could be Menegate, but I don't know what will they choose, to be honest. I'm not sure. Oh, and yeah, we also got Mike Sommerfeld addressing the public and basically using ChatGPT to write this caption right here. So I don't want to bother reading this because it's basically what you would expect Mike to write or copy paste, really. So he's like, basically what he says is that his weight didn't come down enough to meet the classic physique limit. And he takes full responsibility for that. He doesn't explain why it didn't go down. Is it because he didn't want it to go down or because he tried but he couldn't bring it down? I don't know. I don't think it's the latter. He probably hoped. He actually said that. He said that he wants to be 5'9", that that's his goal, that he is that tall. And if he thinks he's that tall, then he should wait as much as he thinks he's tall. And he expected to be remeasured again. It didn't happen, and now he's out. And now he's writing this caption, I take full responsibility. Moments like this don't define you. And then this long dash that only ChatGPT writes. Where is this dash on your keyboard? You can't find it because it doesn't exist. You need to type certain letters to really create it. So I don't think Mike is doing this. ChatGPT wrote this caption. He basically told it what it should say, kind of like he's talking about his coach and this and that. But really, it's a very politically correct statement that he knew he needs to write. This is not him speaking his mind. What his mind is speaking to him right now, what Iblis is telling him, is too scary to imagine. Who the hell knows what's going through his head right now? We most certainly do not. This post does not tell that to us. And I'm sure Mike Sommerfeld is pissed off right now. Pissed off. Because he knew, he hoped, he believed that he's going to be allowed to compete in this show. I don't think he imagined that they won't let him because he's the superstar. He's the guy that almost beat Chris Bumstead by cheating with his weight in, of course, and also who won the Arnold Classic last year, the defending champ, took second, the runner-up position to Mr. Olympia. He was sure they'll let him compete at whichever weight he wants to. But Arnold Classic obviously has integrity. IFBB has integrity. They didn't let him compete, and he's out. He's done. Now he's writing these captions because he's smart enough to do that. Yeah, it's a good caption. A caption you should write. You should not express your emotions on Instagram. Of course, being real in this situation would probably be a terrible thing for him. But as far as us, the fans or the haters, I don't know what we are, us who are following Mike, we will never know what he truly feels like. He's never going to share it with us because I'm sure it's pretty freaking dark. But Mike is out. This is your classic physique prejudging. I think, I don't know what to think, honestly, guys. It's between Wesley and Menegate. Who's going to win? Beats me. Whether they go with the shape and fullness and completeness and maybe the size in the upper body, or with maybe complete mandatory poses and great conditioning and details. In that case, they'll go with Menegate. But we'll see soon enough tonight, guys. So stay tuned. Subscribe to the channel to watch the coverage of the finals right here on the channel. Hopefully the stream will work and I'll be able to show you some real footage as well. Open classes tonight as well. So we'll cover that too. Again, guys, subscribe to the channel. See you soon. All the best and bye-bye.